right, welcome to Primos for Life, the wrestling podcast made for the fans, by the fans. Como siempre, yo soy Eddie, el niño vaque. We got Ariel, the Ecuadorian dream bisueta, and we are your self-proclaimed, undisputed co-host tag team champions of the world. In tonight's episode, we bring you a new Lucha Hot Tag. Tonight's topic, Eric Bischoff's opinion on Triple H being the guy. So, remember the rules. I get a few minutes to say my piece. Ariel gets a few minutes to say his piece. We share our final thoughts, and then we move on from the topic. So, como siempre, sit back, grab a snack, and let's get it on. What's up, primo?
What's going on, dude? ¿Cómo estás? ¿Todo bien?
Todo bien. Well, no. Actually, not todo bien.
Oh, damn. Get real. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on. It just got interesting.
Yeah.
What you got?
So on today's episode of Lucha Hot Tag, right? Because as always,
it's a Lucha Hot Tag episode?
Oh, yeah.
It has well, then hang on. Let me figure it. Lucha Hot Tag. All right.
Yeah. So on this episode of Lucha Hot Tag, on this segment rather, and to remind our listeners what the rules are, basically it's my therapy session. I will discuss or pick a topic that's really been bugging me. Mm-hmm. I'll say my piece about it. Ariel will agree or disagree about my opinion on the matter of the subject, and then final thoughts, and then we just put it out there because it's good to let it all out.
Gotta let out. You can't let that be inside. It's gonna fester. It's gonna be terrible. No, you don't need that. You're building all certain inside. No. We come here, we hammer it out. Eddie just tends to have these episodes a little bit more because he's just such a passionate person, where I'm just sometimes quite aloof, and I'm like, yeah, man, what are you gonna do? Yeah, whatever, so eventually I will have a therapy session where I'm gonna be here and I'm gonna be annoyed, and Eddie's gonna be like, ooh.
Yes. And then I'll be like, Lucha Hot Tag. And then we flip it around,
I look forward to the day.
Me too. All right. Well, let's jump into it. To today's topic, right? So here's how this happened, right? So a buddy of mine named Sean Moore, actually, shout out to
Sean Moore. Shout out to Sean Moore. Thanks, Sean Moore, for listening. Thanks for being out there and talking. Yeah.
Well, not just that. Sean Moore is one of the guys that helped us with the first couple designs of our brand. So shout outs to him.
An extra special shout out to you. I was just telling Eddie that my shirt is faded because I rock it so much. Thank you. That's a testament to you, sir. It looks fantastic. Great work. We appreciate you, Sean. Thank you.
And really quick, because we're talking on the subject of design, we also want to shout out, Jesse Hidalgo out in Texas, a buddy of mine. He's another one that looked at all the logos and was like, let me take a crack at it. And he's made a couple of versions as well that we all love. So thank you both for what you guys have contributed to the brand.
That's absolutely fantastic to take some time out of what I know is a busy schedule, and just kind of mock some things up and do some things. We appreciate you guys so much. And thanks for listening. And hopefully, shout outs to you guys, and whenever we can help, you guys move and sell and pitch and whatever, let us know. We will be more than happy to. So thank you guys.
We're always looking for sponsors. But anyway, so Sean and I were talking, and he was like, hey, did you hear the video clip about what Eric Bischoff said about Triple H? And I was like, nah, man, what? And then I look it up, and basically it's a video clip and he says it. He's like, he's going to get a lot of heat for this. But he says that Triple H was never the man, never the guy, never the face of the company. And I sat there and I was like, what? The guy who revived and made DX the most incredible thing ever, the game, the king of kings, the corporate, and now where he is now, I was like, how dare somebody say that, right? But then you really start thinking, and then you're like, wait a minute, okay, well, when he was rising, he was coming up the ranks, Shawn was really in the spotlight, Shawn Michaels, right? Okay. But then once he got out of the picture, then it was really Stone Cold and The Rock that were really fighting for that position. And then once they started fading out, it was like Kurt Angle, Brock Lesnar, Eddie Guerrero, like those, folks that were kind of taking the spotlight. But then once they all started going in and out, then you got John Cena, Randy Orton, Batista, the whole Evolution movement. And then after that's said and done, you got like I don't know, like the new generation, CM Punk, Seth Rollins, Roman. So then I was like, is Eric Bischoff right? So it really, really, really bothered me because I was like, no, it can't be true. But then when you start looking at the facts, you're like, oh my gosh, it might be true. But then I'm like, no, because he's the man now. He ultimately won. He ultimately is the guy in charge. He's running the show. He is the guy. He's the reason why wrestling in WWE right now has been fantastic for the last 4 or 5 years because of him. It's because of him that NXT Gold was even a thing. It was because of him why one of the best Survivor Series we've ever seen was the one involving NXT where all 3 brands went head to head and they won most of the competitions. You know what I mean? No way. I resent that statement. And whether Eric Bischoff is right or wrong, at the end of the day, I feel like Triple H, Paul Levesque gets the last laugh, and he is the man. No matter what anybody says, he's the man, and that's it. That's my piece. I was really upset about it. Please tell me if I'm right or wrong, and let's just get through this.
Once again, thank you for sitting on the couch, putting your feet up, and speaking to us. We're here for you.
Yeah,
okay, we love you. We want to make sure that you're taken care of. Your mental well-being, very important to us. Okay. That's the starter. Secondly, you're kind of wrong. You're kind of wrong from my perspective. And now, here's why. What Eric Bischoff said, you were just a hint off of. He never said he wasn't the man. What he said was, he's not the main event level, next level Hollywood type star, someone you can take out and move, a la Rock, Hogan, Austin. That, in terms of what I heard, is where I took this. So, in that aspect, he's not wrong. Because the other thing that he said is Triple H is where Triple H is because he's truly a student of the game. He's very intelligent, doesn't drink, doesn't do drug, anything like that. And he just constantly focuses and learns, which is why, to your point, wrestling is where it is now, because he's been amazing, because he's watched and he's seen time and time how things unfold, how things roll, how things grow, where you can kind of cap here, do things here, stuff like that. So, yeah. Letter of the law to a T. Yes, he's right. Rock is Rock. Hogan had a show on VH1. VH1. I remember when that was like Amy Grant videos and John Cicada videos. Like, okay, he had a show on there. All right. Austin has the Broken Skull Ranch show on like on the Country Music Channel, and then this and that is his podcast. It's crazy. Like Taker got his one-man shows and stuff like that. So he was the guy there for a long time. And I have the time on it, and I'll go over it with you right now. But to what Bischoff said, he's not the caliber of, and I don't want to say wrestler, because he's just as good as Rocky and Austin are, if not better, because he's better technically. He's more technical sound wrestler is what I'm saying. Maybe personality is the word Bischoff was looking for. He's not the personality, the big draw, like, like tuning into, hosting Saturday Night Live, stuff like that. He's the guy. He's been the guy because 95 to 97, Hunter Hearst Helmsley, the snob from Connecticut. Great. 97 to 99, Triple H DX. When he was running the DX. March 99 to December 99, Corporation Triple H. Turned his back, went to the Corporation. January 2000 to June 06, Cerebral Assassin, King of Kings. 03 is Evolution. There, he was the man, but not a draw Like, you're making movies. You're not writing the Scorpion King for Triple H. He was in Blade 3, and I thought he did an okay job.
He was
But
also in The Pacifier too, right? The movie, didn't he? Oh, like The Babysitter or something, like The Chaperone. That's what it was, The Chaperone.
The Chaperone, right. And then we have The Game from 06 to 13, The Authority from 13 to 2017, like, and now behind the scenes role. So do I like being the person who's sitting here is nitpicking on playing on words? Not really. But was he the man in WWE? Absolutely. Did he carry that for a good amount of time with his writing? I mean, he did probably bury a couple people. I mentioned it in an episode we had done about Booker T not getting a win when he should have against him, you know, holding a couple other people down. But he was the guy. He's not a crossover star, which is what I think Bischoff was trying to say. So that's where I'm taking that.
Okay. Well, I can see your point, and I could agree with that, because maybe I just let my emotions, like always, get the best of me.
Well, that's why we do these conversations. That's exactly why we do this.
Yeah, because my final thoughts on this is that I feel like, although I feel like he was a crossover guy, because he did do movies, he did do shows. There were plenty of times where he would do like cameos on USA Network television when they were on the USA Network.
Right. Well, he would do an episode of Psych. He would do like, yeah,
he was on Bernie Mac. He was on an episode of Bernie Mac. He's done SNL. He's been on Jimmy Fallon.
Well,
like
he's done SNL when Rocky was hosting. He was on SNL.
Right.
It was Rocky was hosting. Okay.
Okay.
Like,
but what I'm just saying is the guy deserves his flowers as well.
I'm not taking anything away. I said he was the guy who ran that organization, who kept that organization going. Kudos to him for doing that. Absolutely. He's absolutely fantastic at his job. And it's what made him who he is now, and why this incantation of WWE has become so just fantastic all the way around. To your point before, from taking the NXT Black and Gold, which were some of the best pay-per-views, man. Some of those takeovers, man. Brooklyn, takeover Brooklyn. Oh my God, insane. Like, there were so many dope like things. Like, I remember the first North American ladder match. It was a 6-man match. Yeah. Adam Cole, Velveteen Dream, like, oh Ricochet. My God. So Ricochet, oh my God, it was so dope.
Yeah, I remember that.
That was crazy. Good. Like, so he to your point, he has the last laugh.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's his house now, and he gets to do what he wants. And you know what the good thing about this is? He gets to do what he wants, but he's such a student of the game, to Eric Bischoff's thing, that he works and sees what the fans see and gives us kind of what we want to. He's not Vince, where it's, I know better than everyone, and that's the bottom line, to steal a Stone Cold quote.
Yeah.
Triple H is willing to bend and give. The John Cena heel turn. Vince doesn't do that. Vince doesn't do that. That doesn't happen. So, to your point, he gets the last laugh. He was the man in this company. So, I agree with you. Yes, he was the man in this company. Yes, he's carrying it now. Yes, he gets the last laugh. Yes, Paul Levesque can walk around with his head held high about damn near everything publicly that we know about, that he's done good in this industry. Okay, that's true. To what I think, once again, when we're nitpicking, I think Bischoff's sentiment was he's not that crossover star, because yes, he did get a couple of roles and stuff like that, but it didn't go anywhere. Rocky continued to get roles. Austin continued to get a couple of roles.
Yeah, so did Cena. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you.
So, and not a knock on Paul Levesque. Not a knock at all, man. The guy's awesome, dude. You know, I remember the Connecticut Snob. I was like, oh, this guy's an ass. He's great and it's funny. And then he was supposed to win King of the Ring. I forget what year. But then the curtain call happened. Mm-hmm. And as a punishment, I believe Austin won King of the Ring that year. And that's where Austin 316
was born.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
So
I agree. And now that you've, talked some sense into me, I absolutely agree. I just felt so attacked for him because I was like, man, this guy, that sacrifice, right? The curtain call sacrifice. They weren't going to punish Sean, so they had to punish him.
Right. Well, because Scott and Kevin were gone.
Right.
You're not going to punish your biggest guy.
Right.
He was in line for a push. You know what we're going to take away?
Yeah. And then not only that, but like he was just so good at building others up, like DX, right? Building Evolution, right? And even allowing a win for Seth Rollins so he could become the Kingslayer. It's like he is such a selfless dude. I almost felt bad that people were or Eric Bischoff attacked him in that way. But I hear you. He didn't say those things particularly. He just said crossover capability. And I could,
because the ones he likened him to were Rocky, Austin, and I believe it was Hogan.
Yeah.
So when you think about what those three have, is you're talking about, I used to, on Sunday nights, I forget how many years ago this was, I was off and I lived around the corner from the bar that I go to after work. And I would go and meet two friends of mine, and the three of us would sit in the corner, have a couple drinks, and watch Steve Austin's Broken Skull Challenge. This was the competition show. I don't know if you've seen it. Have you ever seen the Broken Skull Challenge?
I think I have, yeah.
It's hysterical. It's truly a competition show about like 6 people go against each other, and then they go against in like different competitions, and then you whittle it down until there's like one left.
Yeah.
That was my Sunday night for a while. Because I'm like, this is awesome. Like, this is just fun to watch. So you go, you have a couple drinks, you watch this. So once again, like even he had stuff like that. So I think once again, that's where it is in terms of the verbiage. I agree with you. I don't like the fact that he said he wasn't the man. And if he meant it in the manner of he wasn't the guy to carry that, which is, it just sounds asinine to say out loud. And you think a wrestling mind like Eric Bischoff would know, which is why I'm so hell-bent on, I think he means crossover.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Well, I feel better about this topic now. I could sleep easy tonight.
I'm glad you do. You see, all you have to do is just call your primo, man. Call me. That's what I do. I'm here, man. But I'm glad we could converse about this situation and be able to have you see it from a different perspective. But I understand where you're coming from. Yes, it does feel like an attack. If that's the way he meant it, then absolutely you have every right to feel how you feel.
Yeah.
I just think kind of going a different way with it and just wanted to show you, once again, sometimes take a second, take a deep breath. So I tell Paul all the time, hang on a second, take a deep breath. I said, smell the pizza, blow out the candle.
Pizza.
Smell the pizza, blow out the candle. That's all you're doing. Now, what were we talking about? See?
There you
so
go.
Here we are.
Hey, I'm good.
Woosah, man.
All right. Now I think that wraps up this episode of Lucha Hot Tag because I think
Lucha Hot Tag.
Oh, I can't wait till I get to sing that for you. Oh, that's awesome. All right, man. Well, primo, como siempre, you know what to do.
I just want to keep singing Lucha Hot Tag.
It makes you, I see the joy in your face when you do it.
I'm grinning like an idiot. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, thank you for the time you give us to listen to us, to reach out to us, to converse with us, to do anything along those lines. Once again, Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, maybe iHeartRadio, like all these platforms, primosforlife.com. I had a friend of mine mention on Facebook the other day, Ariel, how can I, because I put up a reel, and he's like, how can I listen to the full thing? Primosforlife.com will send you exactly where you need to go to what service you use. So thank you everybody for, once again, the time of day, listening, sharing, liking, talking, conversing. We're here. We can't wait to come back and do more. We love y'all, and we will see you when we see you.
We will see you when we see you. Take care, everybody.